Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Hell Yeah Hockey podcast, where I talk about everything hockey. And for you people out there who are sports fans, you guys know that right now is the Stanley Cup Finals between the Colorado Avalanche and the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning. Colorado Avalanche have a 2-1 series lead right now over the Lightning. Game 4 is tonight in Tampa. And without further ado, let's just talk about how we got here and how Colorado has a 2-1 series lead. Game 1 was pretty much all Colorado. They would end up winning 4-3 in overtime on a goal scored by Andre Burakovsky. But that game, even though the score was close, it's pretty much Colorado dominated the entire game. They had about almost 30-plus shots on goal, one, face-off columns to hit columns. So they're pretty aggressive, trying to, get things started and find themselves having a 1-0 lead. And Andre Vasilevsky, who's been a huge part of the Stanley Cup run for the Lightning, their goaltender, didn't really play too well. Game 1 obviously gave up 4 goals, but kind of gave up a couple soft goals, low blocker sides. But Colorado Avalanche would score 3 in the first period that game to the Lightning's 1. The Lightning would score 2 more in the second to tie it up at 3, and no goal would be scored until the overtime winner. And Game 2, my goodness, was a complete disaster and a half for the Lightning. They ended up losing by a touchdown. The Colorado Avalanche scored 7 goals on Andre Vasilevsky, which I'm surprised he stayed in for all 7 goals, to be honest, but it was pretty much a dud of an effort from the Lightning from start to finish. Avalanche came out firing on all cylinders. Every facet of this game, they were around the puck. They scored a lot of 5-on-5 goals. They scored a couple of power play goals, and would you believe it? Cale Makar, who just won the best defenseman in the league with the Norris Trophy, Cale Makar scored a shorthanded goal to give them part of their 7 goals in Game 2. And interestingly enough, with the Norris Trophy, that is the first Norris Trophy won by a Colorado Avalanche or a Quebec Nordique player and franchise. Obviously, the Avalanche used to be the Quebec Nordiques before they moved to Denver. But it's the first trophy won by a defenseman, which is well-deserved for Cale Makar, because he should have won it last year, but he's shown why he's the best defenseman. Lest I remind you, he is only 23 years old. I am 2 years older than this kid, and he is absolutely a beast on the defense and the offensive side of the puck. And Darcy Kemper had a 16-save shutout in Game 2 to preserve his 7-0, so good for him, playing huge. But Game 3 was not great for the Colorado Avalanche. It's pretty much mixed bag of emotions for them. They got served a big slice of humble pie, would end up losing 6-2. Is pretty much the same effect, but done by the Tampa Bay Lightning at home. That is the first loss for the Avalanche on road ice, as they are now 7-1 on the road. Lightning are 8-1 at home. And this game really wasn't that close. Gabe Landeskog, the captain, tried to keep things close, ended up scoring 2 power play goals, but that's all they would get. They came in with 1 goal of tying the game when they were down 3-2, but they couldn't climb back in. They didn't score a goal the rest of the game. Vasilevsky finally played a good game after giving up 7 goals. He saved 37 out of 39 shots that he faced, so he was in a groove, but the Colorado Avalanche didn't play well, gave up a lot of defensive chances, a lot of turnovers, which led to goals. And, Darcy Kemper played okay, but the defense has got to play better in front of him, and so he's going to get another shot at it tonight. Game 4, I'm hoping Avalanche can play a little bit better than they did in Game 3, but that's to be expected. You can't expect a sweep in the Cup Finals. It's been a long time since there's been a sweep. But I would love to see the Colorado Avalanche win. But good thing for the Avalanche tonight, they're getting a big reinforcement for Game 4, most likely. Nazem Kadri, who was out in the Western Conference Finals, I believe in Game 2, fractured something in his arm or his wrist. He should be playing tonight. He's huge for them in this series. He had a hat trick against St. Louis in that game after the big debacle with Jordan Binnington and him and Callie Rosen running into him, and fans giving him death threats and racial slurs, which obviously is not looked happy upon. In my opinion, it's just a sport, so there should be no reason. There's racism, there's death threats in sports. It's just sports, so there should be no reason why that is in the game of hockey. But sounds like he's going to be going on tonight, so that's good for them. Tampa's obviously going to come out probably playing pretty quick, I would imagine, but Colorado's got to stay with them, stay up tempo if they want to bring a cup back to Denver. And they win tonight. Friday's in Denver, so they could have a chance to win it on home ice, which would be pretty amazing for this team who's played really well this year. In the Western Conference, they're the best team in the West, finished second overall in the league behind the Florida Panthers, who ended up getting swept by the Lightning. But the Avalanche are just hoping to get to a better start. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit biased because born and grew up in Colorado, so I'm going to be rooting for the Avalanche all of the day. And I think it'd be good for another team to win the Stanley Cup after Tampa's won 2 straight. Not that it's not exciting. You had the Islanders in the 80s that won 4 straight cups, but I'm hoping the Avs can put a stop to this run by the Lightning. Like I said, tonight's Game 4, and I will see you guys on the other side. Thanks for tuning in to the Hell Yeah Hockey Podcast.